This is how I see. This is where I work. On my way, I leave my own tracks. Are you curious? Now light comes into the dark.
We are standing here in front of 3 representatives of our new 200 Vario series. With this tractor series, we cover a horsepower range of 79 to 124 horsepower. We have 4 different models. We have our 200 Vario, and we have 3 different specialized tractors, V, F and P. When we have a look to our standard tractor, this tractor has a very compact design, so it has a very good turning radius and is very low weight. These tractors are used, for example, in grassland farming, in vegetable growing, for example around the farmyard with the front loader, or in municipal work. When we have a look now to our specialized tractors, we divide them, for example, by the outer width. Our V has an outer width of 1.07 meters, the F 1.32 and the P 1.68. These tractors are used, for example, in viticulture, in fruit growing, in hop growing, or as well in municipal work. The applications of these tractors are very different, so as well the requirements differ a lot. And therefore we have 3 different equipment levels. We have Power, Profi and Profi Plus. So we can fit every farmer's needs and have for everyone the perfect tractor.
Hello, my name is Daniel Smith, Marketing Product Specialist for Fendt high horsepower tractors in North America. Welcome to the all-new Fendt 300, a new product offering for North America to completely round out the Fendt family of tractors. The Fendt 300 comes in 4 models from 100 to 132 horsepower. And this tractor features all of the benefits that all of the larger Fendt tractors feature, including Gold Star customer care, Vario transmission, the new Fendt 1 cab, and many other features. This also includes the fuel-efficient nature of the Vario transmission coupled with the AGCO Power 4.4 liter engine that has been tried and tested in many other vehicle platforms. One of the amazing features about a Fendt tractor in general is the customizability when ordering these machines. This tractor can be ordered with 270 millimeter front and rear tires all the way up to 650 millimeter rear tires, making this tractor perfect for any application. The Fendt 300 series tractor can also be coupled with a Fendt Cargo 4X loader in both Cargo format or Cargo Profi for smart loader functionality. To learn more about how the Fendt 300 can fit your operation, visit www.fendt.com or search Fendt North America on social media.
You run a business. But not just any business. You run one of the most important businesses in the world, a farm. You're managing everything from a balance sheet to agronomic or herd health-based decisions, and like any good business person, you're always looking for ways you can improve profitability and do more. The Fendt 700 series, a tractor that isn't just a tractor, it's a whole lot more. Front-mounted applications, loader applications, row crop applications. All handled by a single machine and delivering the unparalleled efficiency, quality, and excellence you've come to expect from Fendt. Because this isn't just a tractor, it's Fendt.
Some tractors do one thing and one thing only. I don't know about you, but I need a little more mileage out of my machine. That's why I run a new Fendt 700. With industry-leading versatility, it handles everything from rows to loads. Because it's not just about what you can do, it's about what else you can do.
Out here, you get what you give up. You want power? Give up mobility. Want mobility? Give up power. But with my Fendt 1000, the industry's highest high-horsepower tractor, I don't have to give up anything. From heavy-duty haulage to precise maneuverability. I guess I did give up one thing. Other tractors.
comfortability of the ride with this track system is amazing. It's like riding on a cloud of air at times. It's really cool.
I'm running a track tractor. It's a MT 943. I've had better luck with this tractor than any other tractor up to this point.
We had a 4-track. It was heavy. It would pull like thunder. But years ago, we got rid of the old articulated tractors because they left tracks in the field. We're farming flat, and you had those tracks in the field where it packed the ground down all year long. As you planted across them, you had blank spots. I hated that. We went back to the articulated track tractor. It did the same thing. I said, well, we've gone backwards. We like the tracks because they do less impression in your field, and you can plant across them.
I like the 2-track system. As far as this one specifically, it seems to get good power to the ground, low compaction. They work good for operation.
It does get a moment to get used to when you're not used to anything that has that sort of suspension in it. So the first time you turn around or turn at a stop sign and stuff, there's a moment of, ooh, what is that? But that's because of that suspension. It's smooth, it's a smooth curve. It's really nice to ride in the field. Makes it enjoyable to sit there for 12 hours.
You can't win on everything. So like a rubber tire tractor, going down the road, it's going to be smoother going down the road than a track tractor is. But when you get it in the field, okay, I can't take the power that it puts out and put it to the ground, where this track tractor, I can get 100% of my power to the ground. And so therefore I don't have slippage where I'm not burning rubber on my tracks or my wheels there. I mean, I'm getting it all, and I'm getting what I'm paying for.
I would highly recommend Fendt. There's more than one color out there, and other farmers need to see that and see that they do have options, and there are other good options.
You know, I questioned everything they said about them, and getting the power to the ground, having that high horsepower and a fixed frame, the fuel efficiency at that high horsepower has all been really good.
Raw power and efficiency and reliability, I think, would be the top 3 things that kind of come to mind when I think of Fendt.
The biggest reasons is we had high horsepower and a row crop fixed frame that could handle 3-point implements was probably the biggest factors that we chose to go with Fendt.
Putting power to the ground and never feeling it shift. We've had IVTs, CVTs in before, and just in comparison to that, it's so much smoother from basically 0 to 30 or 35, whatever the tractor runs down the road. Not having the whine, it's quiet, smooth, easy shifting.
I'm used to revving these things up to 2,300 RPMs, but it runs and it pulls.
No, it's ridiculously quiet. Ultimately, it's going to go back to that transmission and just coming up to a turn row, being able to just creep with that pedal back and forth. It's smooth isn't the right word.
Last year we had some really tough conditions where I had power shift transmission, actually stalled the tractor, just couldn't shift it fast enough before the plow went really deep in the ground from a mud hole, and with the CVT, it just pulled through it.
When you're shifting it with that CVT, it's a smooth shift and you don't even know it's actually shifting, whereas a power shift, it's a jolt. You better get you a neck brace.
It can't be simpler. That's one of the best thought out systems out of any machine that I've been in, the general drivetrain of the Fendt.
My guys love running them. They're comfortable. We get so much more done in a day with the same amount of hours than what we used to be able to do.
You can't get scared with any high price tag. It's the productivity that it provides. That's the bottom line.
It's been an amazing tool to have on the farm.
I'm a 3rd-generation family farm. We're a combination of grain and livestock with hogs. I have 2 small, more utility-type tractors, 2 main farm field crop tractors, and 1 combine. When I'm using Fendt Guide, it's a very simple process to use. We pull into the field, we pull up it detects our field, it brings up our weigh lines that we've already created. It simply works, to state it as simple as can be. We've had other programs that were aftermarket that just did not work in the same way. They didn't engage well. They didn't steer you back onto your line near as clearly or as well. it just works the way we expect it to. How it compares to other systems I've used, it's very simple to use. I can pull in the field, it detects my field based on the boundary. When I use a product called Contour Segments, when I drive around the field, I can generate the way lines automatically. As I progress around the field, it selects the next one. When I go to start the farm or start the field and planning in the normal back and forth operation, I can go into my settings on Contour Segments, select the one and lock it on that one. And it really is a simple thing. I can jump around the field, get my end rows done in a very timely manner and start farming without having to go through multiple screens to make that work. It's very user-friendly in that regard, and I like using it. What I like better than the deer guidance system is just the overall use of the Contour Segments system. The being able to bring up and create those way lines simply and easily in one operation and one step. It just really makes it simple. When we come around the field and we're automatically selecting the next way line for us to start on, and then being able to jump right onto that without having to make a new line or make a new name or something like that. We just simply make a contour segment that's named, Bob 40 or something like that, and we'll have all 4 edges of our field, made within that contour segment, and they'll just be segments 1, 2, 3, 4. As we go around the field, it advances the segments so that we can use them, and then we can select the field. Now, I don't believe any other company is making a contour segment program currently, and it's been a blessing to use. It's really expedited our system.
We can plant faster and harvest faster and more efficiently.
It will hold that speed to the best of its ability at the lowest RPM, and you just don't have to touch it or do anything.
It's not just about an ideal combine. It's not just about a momentum planter and a tractor. All the pieces of the puzzle, it all comes together. That whole story is what's helped them grow.
And it doesn't get any better than that. I'm David Justison from Butler, Illinois. My brother and I have decided before our days are over that we're going to farm some of the best land there is, and then that's the type of land that we want to leave to our family. Actually, the past 15 years we have been purchasing land anywhere from 1 to maybe 3 counties away. We're looking for what you would call good soil, what we call a good soil, black soil that's highly productive.
And so that's how they kind of strategically set up where they're going to buy farm ground at, and then that's how they built their business from there.
I'm on climate and I'm around 134 different fields I have to keep track of. My brother and I have built this farm to several thousand acres. Our children seem to want to continue that, and since they do, that's why we're trying to expand it. What does that mean when you're growing? The labor force is limited. That means you work more hours. But also what we have found with technology is that we can plant faster and harvest faster and more efficiently without really spending more money. Actually, we're burning much less fuel than we used to. We had all Deere tractors and combines and planters. We've changed from Deere to Fendt, and it has increased our efficiency and decreased our costs. Some of the challenges of being spread out that far is transportation. Our equipment runs a little faster down the road. We have some tractors that'll run 30, 34 miles an hour. The way that the Fendt tractor is designed, it's a large engine that runs a low RPM, has a lot of torque. I did a lot of tillage work in our northern counties this spring, and very seldom I was over 1300 RPM. I've been running 10 miles an hour with a high-speed disc at 10 miles an hour at 1300, 1350 RPM.
You select it, and when you're in the field working, you just kick this over. You don't have to touch the throttle, touch anything. It will hold that speed to the best of its ability at the lowest RPM, and it's usually the most fuel efficient setting.
On top of that, they bought their precision planning, momentum planners with all precision and having our technology on there, and then using that information such as organic matter and how what's their temperature of their soil and everything like that, and they all tie that all together, and then they make a better business decision.
The Fendt equipment that we're using fits our system of farming, which is what I would call a conservation till. We're not no-till, and then we're not totally what you would say clean tillage. The Fendt Momentum Planter allows us to leave the soil rougher, a lot more residue, which helps our conservation plan. And we found with the Fendt Ideal Combine that it does an excellent job spreading the residue, and we have a much evener stand. The quality of the grain that we were getting in the grain tank and the sample, which allowed us to store the grain much easier.
But right now, for as efficient as this equipment is, it's user friendly. It's safe to drive. Everybody enjoys. We're running them, especially at night. I would say we can gain acres right now, probably 20-25%.
What we found out is that I can cover many more acres with those machines, and that helps cut down our full capital cost. And then with the less repairs, it's just a win-win.
When you grow up in a small agricultural community, everyone knows each other. Our fathers were friends, so we've pretty much known each other, you would say, our whole lives. Now, Ryan's running this operation, and I'm the sprayer salesman for the territory, so it's funny how that kind of comes full circle in your life when you're in a small community.
My name's Ryan Tingley. Me and my brother farm together, share over 4,000 acres corn, soybeans. Been helping my dad farm since I was young enough to remember. Rogator's the first sprayer I ever owned. I've always chose my own spraying due to the timely fashion, the availability, and the cost difference. And It's my job, and if I didn't do it right, I can complain to myself.
My name is Chris Miller. I'm with Altor for Ag Products, and I have sold Rogators for right at 27 years now. He's a one-man band. He doesn't have 6 or 8 guys helping him load this and get it from field to field. He does everything by himself. So the way the Fendt Rogator can tie in from not only its road speed, comfortability, warranty, mainly liquid logic, ease of loading, ease of operation, and full season capability, it checked every box for what Tingley Farms was looking for in their next sprayer.
First time I seen one was when it showed up here. Laid eyes on it and actually crawled in one. I've read about them, looked at the brochures that Chris had also gave me and made sure it was going to fit fine for the farm operation. So the feature I'm most excited about is the high clearance edition. Use it as my own fungicide. Then it's an all-around one sprayer. I can spray short crop, high crop, run low when I want to be low, run high when I want to be high. The main reason I bought it was to do my fungicide application, and same technology I already knew. I wanted to just keep with the name brand that I knew, and see how good a warranty she's got. Hopefully I don't have to use it.
So that was probably one of the biggest features that Fendt brought to the table for the Rogator as the two families merged. The Fendt Gold Star warranty that couples the Fendt Rogator gives that customer a 3-year bumper-to-bumper warranty. We'll never forget what the Rogator has brought to the table. 25 plus years of proven performance out of the yellow Rogator, and we're extremely proud of that. We're extremely excited to have the Rogator go to the next level and be a part of the Fendt family and wear this badging. I think what makes me most proud to be a Fendt dealer is watching the new product, the new designs, the bold features from Fendt. And to be a part of that is really fun and exciting.
He's always been there for me every time I've called with a problem, and they've had a real good backing to what they've done and always kept their promises. Everything's worked out real good for us so far.
I'm third generation at this point, and we were running a John Deere combine before. It seemed like we were constantly needing to have a second grain cart, and then repairs approaching $15,000 a year, and we're trying to cover a little over 3,000 acres. We can't shut down.
You can just talk to the farmers and the issues that they're facing for the last 20 some years, we now have a solution. And so we're gonna go that extra mile on warranty, we're gonna go that extra mile on parts, because it's something they've never experienced before, and Fendt does that.
When I start thinking about harvest in the fall, you have a little bit of apprehension, like, will the machine work? Will it continue to work? And in my lifetime, I've never had a dealer do what this dealer did. They checked the machine over, they're there with us, went through the settings, and then the Gold Star warranty program gives me peace of mind knowing that I'm not going to have a large surprise sometime during the harvesting season, because in the past, that has bit us and bit us hard.
That Gold Star piece is like a security blanket, and if you can keep the combine going back and forth, you will gain that customer's respect.
The Ideal has set the benchmark for the harvester world. There's no shifting, there is no fade. It's very nimble, and it doesn't matter how fast you harvest, you will always have the same clean grain tank sample, and it's better than anything that I've ever ran.
That's what really surprised us, is a feature called Harvest Plus, where it senses the amount of flow that's coming through the feeder house. And I never envisioned that a machine automation feature like that could work that quickly. But we're pushing the 4,000 bushel an hour mark, and the harder we push it, the cleaner our sample ends up being.
We've had bins go bad because of the pods in them, so it's very important to have a clean sample, which this machine does.
We can get the grain sample, we can get the low loss, we can get the residue discharge, and with that, it's a good experience.
And then with the larger tank, we have more time for the grain cart to come back. So I could say it saved me $300,000 by not having to put another tractor and grain cart in the field.
It's allowed us more time to get more acres covered. And we thought John Deere was the finest, and we didn't think you could top that, but I believe we have with Fendt.
Fendt has made our farm better. They got it.
Today's startup was goal number one. We're going to plant some corn. And unfortunately, when we back out of the shed, it was blowing 35-mile-an-hour winds. With today's weather, you know, it's tough. And now we stepped into this momentum, which I love the name, because it's momentum. We're moving forward. My name is Tony Hageman, and I'm from Newman Grove, Nebraska here. I'm the third generation farmer. My grandpa, my dad, and then myself. In 1971, my dad started Hageman Sunflower Sales and Service. So our goal was to help people and still do our farming side of it too. The acres and crops that we have, corn and soybeans, full rotation. We do some cover crops on some of the sandier soils to preserve the soil with what we're running into trials and tribulations of weather today. Farming in Nebraska is a real challenge because we are 18% slope one way, 15 the other way. You know, it's not high grade soil, but it's kind of up to you as the farmer to get that seed placed right. You can be the guy that just does the same old thing every year, but if you want your farm to prosper, you're going to have to step it up and try new things. And that actually starts with the planter, because that's the foundation of your farm. If you don't do it right from the start, it's a long haul. Momentum Planter has really stepped up the game because in my own choices, I looked at 5 other companies of planters. This Momentum gives you that chance, that toolbar to have its ride and float, and then it has the precision technology on it, so we can singulate our seed, we can check our down pressure, we can also make sure we've got a clean furrow in front of us. That's got the capacity to run a long day if you want to, if you're a one-man band like I am most of the time. You push the button and you plant corn. Tomorrow, if you want to plant beans, you just vacuum out the seed that you had in there, push the button, those rows come down, and you can plant beans. So it's a one unit deal. So you can put the fertilizer in, put the seed in, and you can cover 40 acres an hour is not a problem. The one key feature on the Momentum Planter, it's called Load Logic. It's changing the tire pressure as we go through the field, so we don't create a pinch row like your competitor planters. They're trying to put a big tire on for flotation, but when you have so much air in that's going to put pressure on where that seed has to come up. So we're treading lightly because we got Load Logic on it. It's set automatic. You can do it manual too, but boy, automatic is so great. Data layering is a key component for the agronomic side. And I finally got into a piece of technology it'll tell me what my soil temperature is and what my organic matter is. And that's what I was hoping for this year, is to build the map. During harvest, this same monitor will go in the combine. When we get the yield results, then we compare the maps so we know how to fertilize for the next year and starting the process. There's a lot of things on the table that the planter, like I said, is the foundation of the farm. Get it right, then you're sailing good.
You're not one to dwell on the past 3 years. You're busy thinking about the next 3. It's easy to do, and all 3 are covered with Fendt's Gold Star customer care. Scheduled maintenance is taken care of, and uptime, plan for more of it, thanks to rapid parts delivery and a loaner program like no other. You have an operation to run, so we built machines and a coverage plan to save your most valuable commodity, time.
Fendt overall, it was always kind of an elusive name for us, and after running one, you realize John Deere does it this way, but they're not right.
Fendt is more user-friendly and reliable.
When I think of Fendt, I think of 3-year warranty on a combine and technology.
A lot of the things that the growers are having issues with is combine technology. And so the AGCO Connect app tells us how many bushels are coming in, and we can see what it's doing. And if we need to go there, we just go right to the map, we figure out where we're at, and we just send the tech right there.
We're sitting at home on nights and weekends and we're watching machine hours, so we know when that machine's getting on the threshold of its 250-hour service. These guys are not used to that. They're used to doing it themselves.
You have to go above and beyond day in, day out to ensure that the customer's up and running so that the end result to the customer is a good experience.
We call it the Mercedes of tractors, and this year has been a pleasure.
We have 2 Ideal 9Ts. We've got a Momentum planter. We've got 2 1038s, a 1042, and a 1050. I knew they had to be reliable or they wouldn't offer the warranties that they did. Knowing what that fixed cost is and knowing then what the fact that we actually can push our equipment a little bit farther than what we thought we could, a combine, or thought we could a tractor, or thought we could a planter, it makes that net cost of our machinery number and that machine repair number a lot more manageable.
If I'm going to buy a $500,000 or $750,000 piece of equipment, I've got to have it on the field. I can't afford for it to be in the shop.
The Gold Star program that is available on these tractors is far superior to having to do all your own maintenance because it's going to get done when it's supposed to get done, and so it's something that every tractor should have.
The Gold Star customer care program is one of the main draws to going with the Fendt, and having that kind of support and service behind me, and knowing having fixed cost on maintenance and repairs is a huge factor.
Insurance, the man that's running it, and the fuel is the only variables that you have. Everything else is fixed. You know, dollars per hour, what that tractor is going to cost you.
It boils down to who do we have to work on it. Not everybody on a farm can go and tear apart into a motor, can tear apart hydraulic systems, things like that. So certain people have to stop what they're doing to go work on stuff, and that is a big decision-making factor when it comes into buying a new tractor, because part of what you're buying isn't just the tractor itself and its performance, but you're buying into the ability to not work on it.
We have the telemetry on board, so the dealer actually calls us when we're getting close to a service interval, make sure we can time that right and not have any downtime when they get it serviced.
With the organics is we don't have time to be down. That's where the Gold Star really plays in, because if your tractor's down and they can't get the parts, they're gonna get it back up and going, or they're gonna get you another machine.
And with this Gold Star program, it's not just the dealer saying that they're going to do it, it's in writing also. And that's a big thing to me.
By the time you sit down and figure what your payments are compared to another model or another brand of tractor, and you figure in what those services are worth, with the trained technician that's coming out and servicing it when it needs to happen, it adds huge value.
Having the warranty and having the service, having all that stuff, it's a comfort. It's a comfort to have that.
Y'all made Boldly Grown popcorn such a success, thought we'd do an encore. This time, Fendt and I are going nuts. Peanuts. Grown on the finest Fendt farms and available in 3 delicious flavors handpicked by me. You mean me, right? Come on, guys. It was me. Order at boldlygrowngoods.com.